I'm embarrassed all the time. I think everything is so embarrassing.
It was like
And
for
it
me,
really
it
like
was
mostly applies in
I was very much of a quiet kid, so I didn't socialize with a lot of people. So
Like, I just want to quiet my mind and just like live instead of overthinking.
holding on to the past and just by like letting it go, since it could really like haunt you by just ruining.
you are listening to Farewell, the Eulogy Project podcast.
Hello, welcome to our podcast, also known as Farewell, the Eulogy Project. My name is Emily. I am the Design for Life teacher, and here I have with me 4 of my favorite students in B Block. If you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Me? Oh, I'm Bridgett.
I'm Jay.
I'm Jalene. I'm Arianna.
Thank you. All right, so let's get into it. We are talking today about what ideas we have for our eulogy projects, any thoughts that we're brainstorming. So we're thinking of things that we really want to let go of or get rid of in our life. Does anyone have a good head start on their project and want to share what they're thinking so far? Go ahead, Amy.
My project's about perfectionism and how like my family constantly like put me in my sister's shadow most of the time, and even if they did it like unintentionally, it like still kind of like bothered me a bit. So like it led me to like trying to like get a 4.0 or like trying to be perfect just like my sister.
She's older than you?
Mhm.
Oh. And when did you feel like that started for you?
I feel like it started like when we both got enrolled in like the same elementary school. Like we've been in the same daycare before, but like once we got into like elementary school and like she kind of like skipped a grade a bit, everyone expected me to kind of be like smart as her or like understand the curriculums as fast as she did. And when I didn't understand it, then like it kind of lowered their expectations about me.
That's so interesting. But she didn't go to New Design, did she?
No, she didn't.
Do you feel like safer here?
It's interesting.
Cool. I also wrote about perfectionism in my project and how it was always just something that I aspired toward. I was never really compared to anyone because I was the oldest child, the oldest grandchild on both sides. But I always like put this pressure on myself that I feel like those of us who struggle with perfectionism know too well. It's almost like any other shame that other people would put me through. I already felt it tenfold. Cool. Anyone else want to share?
I wrote about like my past and like the things that I wrote about like my mental health and how it was like always seen like as a burden and not just something I went through. It was just an annoyance or like a hindrance that was like always around me or like always there. So I chose that to write to be like something that would be like quote unquote let go.
And letting go of that, where do you end up?
I wouldn't be able to say that you can completely let go of like your past or like the things you've been through, but you could let go of the pain or the memory that was attached to that part, and you could reach a place of being content with what things happen and just try to keep moving on to the future. So letting go to you could feel a point of being able to be content with what happened and being able to move on instead of holding on to the lingering feelings that you may feel.
So you're saying farewell to any part of yourself that you were, like the pain that you held on to as life kept going.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Great. What did you write?
I wrote about overanalyzing and how it's not really a good trait of mine, and how it kind of affects me by like giving me anxiety about most stuff that I don't need to think about, and that's it.
Did you feel like this trait started from a young age for you?
It started when I started high school.
Oh, that's so interesting. You didn't feel like it was in middle school or elementary school?
Mm-mm. It just started when I was in high school, and maybe like during the pandemic too, because had to get computers and had to log in and make sure I still do my classwork.
Did anyone else feel like the pandemic really pushed ahead any kind of struggle we were going with?
Yeah.
It just made everything so much harder. Do you think that's due to like the isolation or the too much free time to think?
I think the social isolation is what got to me more than having like unlimited free time.
You can say something?
I wrote about being like so much giving, like giving to people. Like I'm such a, I'm gonna explain it. I'm gonna say I'm open to give people stuff. Like if they don't have it, I'm gonna give them. But when it's like the other way, people won't do it. If it makes sense. But yeah.
You feel taken advantage of easily?
Yeah, but no. Yeah, basically. Not advantage, but like yeah.
What would you want to change?
Like being nice, I would say open, like giving people stuff. I mean, it's nice to give people stuff, but not all the time. Because when it's like the other way around, I mean, I don't really care, but yeah.
It's hard because you don't want your heart to harden, right?
Yeah.
Like it's such a
And then
gift.
people take over.
Yeah, you don't want to become a jaded person. You want to. It's such a beautiful quality to want to give to other people and care for other people, but it is so hard to not feel taken advantage of in that process. I paused for a second. I'm trying to think of a good question to carry. You got any good questions? Do any of you have any good questions?
About what? Like,
About the project, about the things we're talking about?
Do you guys think you guys will change in the future?
Oh, perfect. Let's get that
maybe we
on.
could all just talk at the same time, or it could be like.
It could be conversational, like you could go, someone else could talk. It doesn't have to be just me and
Yeah,
one.
if someone says something and you're like, oh, that makes me think of something,
Okay.
feel free to like jump in.
Yes. We're gonna go back. Avi, do you want to be the one to ask a question? Yeah. Okay. Ready, set.
So do you guys think like and you guys will like mature in the future? Like all these things that you guys are holding in your heart now, do you guys think you will let it go and become a better person as you think?
I'm gonna say yes. I would change, cause like, I mean, I won't say I would change, but I would.
I feel like I feel like I will change because everyone changed in some kind of way over like a period of time. Even if it's a minor change, it is still a change. So I feel like a change is naturally going to occur, not just for me, but for everyone. But I feel like the level of maturity that you can reach is more tailored towards the person and not towards the amount of time they spent. Because a person could have the same mentality for years purely because they don't think they're capable of change or they just don't wish to change. So I feel like I can, if I keep thinking in a way that is more positive, in a way that encourages personal growth, I know that I will change and mature one day. But if I keep thinking in a way of I'm incapable of change or I'm unable to do something, I know I'm going to feel mentally and physically stuck in that same place.
I also agree that you change every day, and also you also want to have to improve yourself So if you don't want that, or not wanting to improve yourself, or like change for yourself and not for other people, then it's not gonna happen.
It's like an everyday climb, right? It's like an everyday dedication to convincing yourself that you can become the person you want to be. And reminding yourself over and over that you are capable of it and that it just takes practice. I think a lot of people just give up kind of easily. They we set, for example, all these like New Year's resolutions, and a lot of people that own gyms will tell you like January is the best month for them. Their business is booming because everyone signs up for the gym. And you'll see even gyms are more crowded because everyone wants to get into these healthier habits. And then by February, they're all kind of gone, right? They all quit, they don't come, they cancel. And it's so hard to stay. I had this conversation recently with a student's father, and he was, talking about his daughter, and he was saying, my only goal for her is to keep her eyes on the prize. And it was such a like cliche old line, but it was something that was so true, because you have to keep your eyes on where you want to go and what you're focused on, whether that's like internally, whether that's your future, whatever it is. You have to stay centered on that goal. That's a great question, Evie.
I mean, I'm agree with what everybody said too. Like, you have to have a good mindset, and you have to have like a goal for yourself to like make it there or whatever. And you have to have like good energy around you, like positivity, and all like people that's around you has to have like good, it's like spirit and like good stuff for you to keep your mind going.
How do you keep a good circle around you that help
Like,
you with these goals?
you have to go off of how they act, like the energy or like the way they talk, or like I don't know how to explain it, like the energy I'm gonna say. And just to see if they
Yeah.
acted funny or certain people. Like, that's how I feel.
It's just the way how they set themselves. Like, if you're gonna be respectful in public and be respectful to yourself, I like, it's kind of like moral and ethic that you'll be respectful to me as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
That and you could tell a lot about a person compared to the way they act in public compared to the way they would act like in private. Because I know people who would, once they're by themselves and they either choose to be by themselves or that they're physically by themselves with like either people they don't know all that well or an environment that they're not used to, will choose to like shut themselves in, even if they are like a naturally extroverted person. But like once they're around people they know, you would see either like a different side of them, or maybe even if they act one way in private with you, they may act a different way in public with you. It all just depends on how the variety, or like what's the word I'm looking for, the spectrum of the person. Because they can be someone who, when given the chance to be extroverted, the most extroverted person you could ever be, but you will never actually know till you get the chance to see it yourself that they can actually enjoy being introverted and not always extroverted if they wanted to.
Do you think like introverted environments are the ones where you can get that deeper, better connection with people?
It depends, to be honest. Because, like, some introverted people, they'll, like, actually just shut themselves out completely. They'll rather stay, like, isolated to the world and rather not make growth. And then there's some introverted people who will try to make the growth and try to, like, set themselves up for new people to help themselves and better their standards. So maybe, I feel like it just depends. It could be the same for extroverted people, too.
Do you guys consider yourselves more introverted or extroverted?
Both.
What's
What's the word? Ambivert. I think that's the word that
Sounds
it's
right.
used to describe yourself as both. Depends on environment, how I'm feeling before I'm in the environment, and like my awareness of where I'm going can all depend on how introverted or extroverted I'm going to be. So like, honestly, I'm more introverted at family events compared to when I choose myself and I to go out to a party, that even though I may know like only one person there, I will probably be more extroverted at that party compared to a family event where I might actually be related to, where I'm like more than likely related to the people showing up there.
I feel like a lot of people are the same way, especially like young children, teenagers. I always felt the same way too. And I see family all the time. And I still don't necessarily feel like I think it's important to put yourself in environments where you feel like you can be as much yourself as possible. And that's what's so great about our school, is that we create these spaces that we can all like be who we are and be true to our nature. And
Everybody get along.
yeah, and you know, sometimes at home it's not that easy. Does anyone have any last farewells they would like to give? A farewell either to the thing that they're saying goodbye to, the quality they're saying goodbye to, or to something else? I'm going to say goodbye, perfectionism. You will not be missed.
Goodbye, everything.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
The only thing I can think of goodbye to is the amount of money I'm eventually have to spend to get out of the school to a different one. So my mom was breaking up colleges and thinking about like the future and stuff like that. So the current thing that I've been like on and off thinking about is, oh my god, that costs so much money to do that stuff.
Thank God for financial aid. Bridgett, any last goodbyes?
Goodbye to all the negativity.
Oh yeah, goodbye to the negativity. Goodbye to the bad vibes.
Bad energy.
Goodbye to the bad energy. Goodbye.
You've been listening to Farewell, the Eulogy Project podcast, a Spark Studio production.